Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Alright, where do we start? This might be a long video, people. Quite a lot's happened in the last few days. I do want to look back on Galal Yafai's fantastic win over Sonny Edwards. I do want to talk about the trailer for Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. I think the best one yet. I keep saying that, but I do think it's the best one yet. But obviously, there's only one place to start. The full card has officially been announced for February 22nd. We did a video, I think last week, after Dan Rafael posted what he thought was the card. He was close. There has been a few changes, but the full card is now out. And I think the whole boxing world collectively is like, this is incredible. Like collectively. And look, there are some that still find things to complain about. Those people will always complain about something. But I think this fight card is the greatest fight card I've ever seen. I don't want to say we've ever seen, just because I don't know about fight cards in the 1930s and 40s. But in my lifetime, there hasn't been a fight card this good at all. Like, not even close to being this good. I don't know if you guys have noticed, the eagle-eyed ones would have, but the fight card has changed just a little bit. Before we do this, before we get into it, we are live again this Thursday, 8 o'clock. Make sure you tune in. Yeah, it has changed a little bit. So initially, the first one that came out had Zhang versus Kabial as the first fight. Then a couple of hours later, it got changed and Boatsy versus Smith became the first fight. But look, whatever. You know how good a fight card is. Let's just say it's Boatsy versus Smith. You know how good a fight card is when the first fight walk-in is Joshua Boatsy versus Callum Smith. That's the first fight walk-in. Not an 8-rounder, not a 10-rounder, not a meaningless fight. I mean, talking about two of the best light heavyweights in the world walk in first. And for us, it's a domestic dust-up. Not the one that we asked for or necessarily wanted, but one that could be better than the one we wanted. Obviously, the one we wanted was Boatsy versus Yard, right? I mean, Callum Smith, let's not forget, going into that Beterbiev fight, a lot of people said Callum Smith had a chance here. Obviously, he got blown away. Had a 5-rounder over the weekend, obviously just to kind of get the ring rust off, and now he's back in with Boatsy, who's coming off that good win against Willie Hutchinson. What a fight to kick off the night. And that was one that came from nowhere. No one saw that one coming. Like, Dan Rafael didn't report about it. There was no rumors about it. Me and Joshua have got a very close mutual friend. He let off no tips to me, motherfucker. He didn't tell me anything. So, yeah, that one has come from nowhere. All right, then we move to the heavyweight division. Zhang versus Kabial. Two top 7 heavyweights, right? I mean, you've got Fury Usyk, you've got Dubois, you've got Joseph Parker. You could have Zhang Kabial above Bakoli because they've done more work. I think Bakoli beats them both, but they've done more than Bakoli. So you're looking at two top 6 heavyweights going at each other. Incredible fight. Honestly, incredible fight. I mean, don't sleep on Kabial. You can't sleep on Kabial. And Zhang. Right, you know what you're getting with Zhang. It seems as though he's improved on the gas tank a little bit, but Deontay Wilder was awful. So it's difficult to know if Wilder was just so bad and a shell of himself, or Zhang was just a bit better. I don't know. We'll find out February 22nd. All right, then we move to what's next. Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield. I don't think this is the order, but let's just go that way. Now, this is the one where people might say, okay, Floyd isn't ready. But hey, get ready. Get ready. Floyd Schofield is highly ranked in the 135-pound division. Shakur Stevenson hasn't looked his best in his last couple of fights. He's coming off surgery as well. If you are going to get Shakur Stevenson, this is the time to get him. This is the time, because you're not going to get a better time. Do I think Shakur wins? Yes, I do. But I like the fact that Floyd said, I'll fight him. And there's been some pushback, and he's like, no, I'm fighting. Like, and this is where, you know, fighters do have all the power. They always say things like, oh, my manager and my trainer and my promoter. Fighters have the power, because Floyd Schofield, from the get-go, even when people said this fight is off, it's not happening, Oscar came out and said it ain't happening, Floyd and his father pushed for this fight to happen, and you've got to applaud them. Win or lose, they get the experience, they get a big paycheck, and if they win, well, it's lottery numbers. It's lottery numbers. So look, credit to him. And sometimes you got to take that risk. I mean, it's kind of different, but Canelo stepped up when he was very young to fight Floyd. Teofimo Lopez stepped up when he was very young to fight Vasily Lomachenko. They were both big underdogs in those fights. Canelo learned so much from the Floyd fight. Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily Lomachenko. It is different because Shakur is very young as well, but you can kind of see where I'm going there. No. Let's start with this one. Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov. Pardon me? I'm sorry. This, for me, is harder than Virgil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis. It's harder, honestly. And look, we might need to do a whole nother video on Jaron Ennis and the reasons as to why he's not taking this fight, because it don't look great. It does not look great. No matter how you spin it, and you can try and, if you're an apologist for Boots, you can try and make a reason, but I can't find one. Honestly. Slightly disappointed that Boots hasn't taken this fight, but I think this is a tougher fight. Madrimov is very, very good, very big, very strong at the weight, very agile, great feet. And let's not forget, Virgil didn't look great against Boychuk. I mean, I think we almost seem to have forgotten that performance. It's a tough ask. The only thing that's kind of strange is that Madrimov is still on the December 21st card against Boychuk. So it's almost a bit... I just don't see that fight happening. I don't see Virgil fighting Madrimov. I think Virgil will stay on the card and fight someone. I think it could be Xander Zayas, but I don't see how he fights Madrimov unless Madrimov completely ices Boychuk in the first round, which I don't see happening. So kind of interesting. Carlos Adames versus Hamza Sheeraz. I'm very happy, and this is obvious, but I'm very happy that they've done Carlos Adames versus Hamza Sheeraz as opposed to Hamza Sheeraz versus Carlos Adames. Champion first. I think it's important. Obviously, we know that Hamza Sheeraz is a Riyadh season ambassador, and obviously he's one of Turkey's favourites, but I like tradition, so that's important. We'll find out now. We'll find out how good Hamza is. I think he's very good. But this is it. This is the acid test. Carlos Adames is no Amma Williams. He's no Tyler Denny. No disrespect to those fighters, but he's not. He's a very, very good middleweight. I just think that Hamza could be a bit special. I think he's very big at the weight. He carries power as well. He's rangy. He can fight inside. There's not much that Hamza can't do. He can take a punch. We've seen Amma crack him clean, and he took that and ate that and kept coming forward. Punches in bunches. He throws a lot of punches per round. He's a bit of a problem. So, yeah, great fight. Honestly, I'm reading out I'm saying all these fights, and I'm like, was this real? Like, is this really happening? Yeah, it is happening. Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. There was some talk about Daniel Dubois being the main event. He can't be the main event over Beterbiev Bivol, but I mean, Daniel Dubois. Daniel motherfucking Dubois. Usyk, Miller, Hrgovic, AJ, Parker. Are you kidding me? Usyk, Miller, Hrgovic, AJ, Parker. No easies. No easy fights. Talks the talk, walks the walk. Talks the talk, walks the walk. Impressive. So impressive. Honestly, like, he could have really... Like, who would have forgiven... I mean, who would have said anything about Daniel Dubois if he looked in that top 15, looked at the top 15 and just grabbed anyone? You wouldn't have said anything. You're like, okay, fair play. I mean, he fought AJ last time. He fought Hrgovic. I mean, he's allowed to give me. No. Give me Parker. Give me Parker, who's in the form of his life. This is a Parker that is clearly better than the Parker that was a world champion. Clearly better than that Parker. Way more confident, bigger, stronger. Has been through a bit of adversity inside the ring, outside the ring. He's hardened because of that. So, yeah. And then we have the main event. And then after all of that, after all the names I just reeled off to you, after all the names and all the fights I just reeled off, we have Beterbiev versus Bivol. We have the best fight you could make in boxing again. Beterbiev versus Bivol. The first one was so nice, we had to do it twice. Oh, God, what a fight card. How much is that fight card costing to put together, by the way? Maybe not as much as Fury Usyk, because Fury and Usyk are getting paid so much, actually. But and then I think Turkey announced the pay-per-view price in America. Whereas Americans are so used to $80 pay-per-views, they're getting this one. I think I saw it as $24.95. And I think it's $19.95 over here. You can't complain. I mean, look, I know we don't like pay-per-view, but you just can't complain. This is so good. Honestly, it's such a good card. It's such a good card. Fuck. Man. To be involved in something like this is just insane. Like, I'm so excited. So excited. And, so I did see a complaint, actually. Someone complained about the fact that obviously all 12 rounders, I think, maybe Boatsy Smith. No, I think it's a 12 rounder. I think it's an interim title. Someone complained about the length of the card. I'll just fuck off then and just watch it from co-main event. No one's put a gun to your head and tell you to watch everything. Jesus Christ, man. Honestly, you cannot please some people. You can't. But look, anyway, we'll talk about that fight card more on Thursday, live, 8 p.m. And obviously a lot more as we get closer to the event. Quick word on the Fury Usyk trailer. How good was that? I think Fury can act. I actually think he's a good actor. He's got presence about him. Look, we are less than 3 weeks away from that one. I fly out on the 14th, and it's going to be the busiest week of my life, but who cares? I think it's going to be sensational. Like, their first fight just had everything. Like some of these Riyadh season cards, the entourage doesn't feel as big. Like, not everyone flies out. Fury flew out everyone. Usyk flew out everyone. It was carnage and chaos. Obviously, John Fury headbutting one of Usyk's teams. I don't know who it was on the team, but obviously the headbutt, and that kind of stirred things up as well. It was just carnage, and then the fight delivered. But yeah, the trailer's fantastic, isn't it? Fucking fantastic. All right, quick word on, let me quickly see if there's anything else. But quick word on Sonny Edwards, Galal Yafai. Obviously, Sonny calling it quits, which surprised me. It did surprise me. Just because he looked so good against Curiel. So I was like, okay, there's still quite a lot left. Yes, you had the defeat, but there's still quite a lot left. But then there looked like there was nothing left on the night against Galal. I mean, from the very first, I think his glove touched the canvas in the first 20 seconds, if my memory serves me right. And you felt like, okay, Galal might start to slow down here, but Galal was just 100 miles per hour. And then in the second round, or the end of the second round, when Sonny said to his corner that he don't want to be there anymore, I guess there is or has been a conversation of should the corner have said, okay, enough, we're putting you out now. But he kept on going, and he kind of found success in sort of rounds 4 and 5. But even then, I remember listening to the corner. You guys can watch it back. I think at the end of round 4, he does say like, no, he will slow down. So they were banking on Galal starting fast, but then just the gas tank running empty. Didn't slow down at all. Like, he just was fantastic, Galal. And I think we've got to be very careful here of maybe talking so much about Sonny retiring and Sonny not having anything left, as opposed to Galal forcing him to retire. Do you know what I mean? And look, that's quite difficult to say because Sonny has said post-fight that he was always going to retire. But I do wonder if Galal kind of just, I don't know, pushed that on him more. Like, okay, you beat Galal. Say it was a wonderful performance against. Is he retiring off the back of that? I'm not quite sure. I think almost feel like Galal punched him into retirement, if that makes any sense. But look, Sonny's had an amazing career. Like, I love Sonny. I think Sonny's done so well out of the sport of boxing, but also it's given so much to the sport of boxing. Like, again, I'm around a lot of fighters that you put the mic in front of them, and that's not their job necessarily, but you put the mic in front of them and they don't give you anything. Sonny gives you gold, which is why Sonny will definitely be on the broadcast for the Zone going forward 100%. Obviously, he manages fighters. I wouldn't be shocked if there is a Sonny Edwards promotional company that kind of just blossoms up in the next, just comes up in the next few months or years. He's only 28 as well, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the ring again. His body's been through a lot just because he doesn't have the punch power. Like, every fight he fights, he has to kind of, unless he gets stopped like he did against Bam or Galal, he's going 12 rounds to get the decision. So he's been through a lot, but I just wonder if he might just take a year out and then see what happens. Honestly, take a year out. We're still under 30, and then maybe have one more knock. Maybe a super fly or something. Maybe just have one more knock. We'll see. But fantastic career. As for Galal, I mean, obviously the talk now, it will be Galal versus Bam. That's what's gonna talk. So that's what's gonna happen. But don't know. Bam's Galal almost seems perfectly suited to a flyweight, whereas Bam looks like he's gonna run through a few divisions. Like, Bam's really big, really thick, really strong, and Bam fights like Galal in terms of aggression, but more angles, maybe more punch variation, maybe. So that's a bit of a tough ask for Galal, but I think we said it was a bit of a tough ask against Sonny, and he kind of just made that look like it was easy work. So you never know. You never know. But look, credit to both. Credit to Sonny on his career, and credit to Galal for a magnificent win, hopefully. And he had a few, I'd say, there were a few different ticket sellers in here. So I want to say Galal had a few thousand in there, but I don't know. There was a few guys in the undercard that had like 500, 600. So Galal maybe had a nice amount of people that watched him, but hopefully they can put all those guys together on more cards in Birmingham and sell out that BP arena. All right. Let me see if there's anything else very quickly. The press conference, by the time you're watching this, probably has already happened, for Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis is today. Very little interest in that fight. Very little interest in it, I'll be honest with you. Just being honest. Tune in today, 10 p.m. Me and Ariel, our show goes live. We've got Liam Parrow coming on. Obviously, we're going to talk about this card that's been announced and a few more bits as well. Ben Whittaker and Fraser Clark could return on the same bill in the spring. No, thank you. No, thank you. Ben, yes. Fraser, I want him to have a bit more time out. I know he's of an age where he maybe needs to be rushed, but health is wealth. Bit more time out, please, Fraser. I mean, that was bad. That was bad, that knockout. Why does he need to come back in the spring? Like, maybe, honestly, I was thinking a whole year out. So, yeah, that would be my thing. But, I mean, there's smarter people that know things better than I do. All right, look, there are other bits. We'll do a proper video. This one's very rushed just because, again, that card was crazy. But we'll do a proper video maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, maybe today. Who knows? Peace.